Hello guys, so what I'm doing today is training you on what an agent is all about and what being a Sortika agent actually means. And obviously the goal is to be able to ensure that we are on the same page in terms of what you're supposed to do on the field. So I'll just do a very quick training, and then if you have questions, then you can always channel them through the WhatsApp group that we have, or you can call our customer care number any time of the day. So what does Sortika do? Let's just start from that. So Sortika is a mobile application, or rather is a solution that seeks to empower social connections for the purpose of unlocking financial freedom among our people. So what do we mean when you talk about empowering social connections? So when you talk about social connections, you're talking about basic things. So I'm going to be writing here for the purpose of you being able to follow. So social connections, you're talking about things like what you do among friends. It's called peer-to-peer. So for example, you give each other loans, peer-to-peer. You help people. It could be about what you do around donations. You mnafanya mchango, where you help people within your circles. It could be a family friend, it could be anybody. It's also what we do in our chamas. So because we have chamas and groups, right? So these are some of the things, the financial transactions that we conduct within our social circles. So the goal of Sortika is to be able to empower these particular social financial transactions so that we can actually be able to formalize them, right? So these are all informal transactions. So what do we mean by informal? Informal means that they are happening within your circles, but they are not formal in terms of they cannot be used with any regulated financial services lender, right? So our work at Sortika is to formalize these informal transactions so that they can actually count for something when you want to perform formal financial transactions. So for example, if Jerry is borrowing money from John, right, as a friend, and John is giving her money every time, but Jerry is very faithful to pay. You see, your transaction, that one is between Jerry and John, and no one else knows about it. But now, if you can do that transaction on Sortika, it means Sortika becomes aware that Jerry actually borrows money from John, and Jerry is very faithful to actually pay back that money. You get it? So that can help Sortika be able to develop a credit score that can actually be used to lend to Jerry. You get it? You get it? On the other hand, that transaction actually records that John has a cash flow to the extent that he is able to actually lend money to Jerry. So that could also help in developing a credit score for John. You get it? So another scenario is that Jerry, John, and Mary all are in a group. They're in a chama, and they save money in that particular chama, and they also borrow money from that particular chama, and they are faithful with their daily or weekly savings. So every week they save probably say 500 shillings, and they are very faithful. When they borrow money from that particular chama, they actually pay back the money at 10% interest, and they're able to do that. So if that chama is doing those transactions on Sortika, then what happens is that Sortika is able to use that to create a formal credit score that can actually help Sortika and any other lender who is a partner of Sortika to be able to offer them credit facilities, formal credit facilities. For example, Sortika is working very closely with lending institutions such as MyWagePay, which is a regulated digital lender by the CBK. We are working with banks, for example, DT Bank. We are working with them, and they can be able to lend you money. You know, they can be able to lend you money through our platform because they can see what you are doing within your social circles. You get it? Eh? So our objective as Sortika is to formalize informal transactions. So just to have it here is to formalize informal transactions that are happening within our social circles, for the purpose of what? For the purpose of being able to create, a formal credit score for these customers, right? So that's exactly what we are doing. So that is what we need to be able to understand as agents. We want to formalize these transactions that you're doing within your chama, the transactions that you're doing between you and your friend, family and friends, zile mchango unazofanya, zile kukopesha unakopesha marafiki na wadeni, zote zifanye kwenye Sortika. You can actually lend money to your friend on Sortika, right? If you want to raise money for a medical bill, you can actually create a goal on Sortika to raise money from a medical bill, and your friends can come and contribute to that particular goal on the Sortika platform. We'll be able to demonstrate this even as we do what we call product demo to you. So this is some of the things that can actually be done. If it is your chama or group, you can actually run it on the Sortika platform, and those informal transactions that are happening within that particular group can now be recorded, and those transactions can actually be used to help you be able to get a formal credit score that allows you to get formal financial transactions. For example, the formal financial transactions that Sortika promotes, the formal financial transactions that you can perform, on Sortika, include, these are the ones that you can actually be able to perform on Sortika. So number one is loans, right? So one, you can access loans, right? You can access loans from formal institutions, So for example, that could be digital lenders, could be microfinance institutions, it could be from banks, it could be from other lenders who are looking at any formal credit score that they can actually use to be able to give you a loan, right? So number two, you can also do proper saving, right? So you can actually now be able to save properly within the Sortika platform and actually get an interest by doing that saving. So on Sortika, we provide fixed savings. You can actually access formal savings products. For example, you can save towards buying a fridge on Sortika and actually get an asset finance loan against that particular fridge. You can actually save towards buying a car on Sortika and actually get a credit facility towards buying that particular car. The same thing with a plot. You can actually get a mortgage. You can start saving towards owning a home and actually be able to get a mortgage within Sortika. So this is the beauty of it. Your informal transactions can now help you own a home, can now help you own a car, can now help you be able to buy the fridge that you've been looking for. So this is what we're trying to do. We are trying to formalize informal transactions and use them for you to be able to access formal transactions and benefits that you can actually be able to get by doing that. Number three is investments. These are some of the solutions that we do. So we can actually help you invest formally in all the local products and global products. So some of the local products you can access on Sortika is SIB Mansa X. You can get Old Mutual Unit Trust. You can get Britam Money Market Funds, Balance Fund. You can get Madison Wealth Fund, which returns around 12%. Madison Fixed Income Fund. You can access Madison Money Market Fund. You can access Adam Jaza, Africa Diaspora Asset Managers. The product is there, which is edged on a balance fund. So all these formal investment products are now available to you. You can actually be able to access. You can actually also be able to access global products such as the ETFs in the US market, in the NASDAQ market, in the Ireland market. You can access all these kind of products through Sortika. Why? Because now we have been able to formalize the informal transactions, and probably from every transaction you're doing on Sortika, you are saving, and that money can actually now be able to actually go towards these formal products and alternative investment products that can actually be able to give you a better return. So that is what you can do within Sortika. There's a lot more that you can do within Sortika, but these are some of the formal financial transactions that you can perform on Sortika. So you can do loans, which is formal loans from formal institutions. You can do savings, which are formal, which can actually give you what we call buy now, pay later. You can also do investments products. You can access investment products, both local and global investment products. So this is the value proposition that we are selling to our customers across the country, that it is time for us to be able to formalize informal transaction. And why are we doing this? So the reason why we are doing this, just to give you some bit of context, is that 400 million adults in sub-Saharan Africa, right? 400 million. There are 400 million adults in sub-Saharan Africa, of whom 75% of them don't have a formal credit score. They don't have a formal credit score, right? 75% of the adults in sub-Saharan, we're talking about 300 million adults in sub-Saharan Africa, they don't have a formal credit score. Because why? Because 45% of them rely on informal they rely on informal financial sources for financial support. You get it? So they rely on informal financial. They rely on informal financial sources for financial support. So what does it mean? It means that a lot of adults in sub-Saharan Africa actually rely on getting money from chamas for their survival. They rely on getting money from family and friends for their survival. So actually a lot of people are not in the formal financial system. They are in the informal financial system. And that's the reason why Sortika is playing a very critical role. We are actually solving a very big problem. A problem being faced by over 300 million adults in sub-Saharan Africa. So what you're saying is that we are going to give all of them a formal credit score. So that's the context under which Sortika is operating in, and that's the context under which we want to be able to provide a solution that can help our people access funds. So why is it impossible? Why is Sortika at the forefront of being able to do this? What is our motivation to do this? So our motivation is to help our people achieve what we call financial freedom. You get it? Eh? So what we've been saying most of the time is that a lot of every time we are working, all of us, when we are very energetic and we are working a lot, we want to get to a point where we can retire, right? So we want to get to a point where we can retire. So retiring means that we no longer need to work, right? But we should be making the money that we've been making during our working time. So we should continue making that money so that we can cater for our bills and we can be able to have a good life and enjoy the quality of life that we've always enjoyed while we are working. So, but it is, imagine if you are depending on family and friends, you're depending on chamas for your survival, then it is very unlikely that you're going to retire early. It's very unlikely that you're going to retire with a cash flow that is going to guarantee you a good quality of life that you had during your working years. So that's the reason why we want to help every adult, right, who is doing all this informal transaction, 300 million people, start their formal journey towards being able to achieve financial freedom. So what do we mean by financial freedom? So financial freedom for us is freedom of time. So this is freedom of time, and the number two is freedom of money. So freedom of money. So that's how we define it. So freedom of time means that you're no longer limited by a 9 to 5 o'clock job. You know, even if you don't go to work, you still make money, right? Freedom of money is you can afford everything you want, right? You can afford the things that are important for you. You can afford a quality and dignified life. So one of the things that we are doing within Sortika is once you come in on the app, we are able to tell you your retirement number. At what level can you be able to retire? How much of investments do you need to have made so that by the time you're retiring, you're still making the same kind of income you're currently making right now to be able to survive, or you're making the income that is good for you to be able to live a comfortable life in retirement. So what kind of investments do you require? And obviously, you know, for you to actually be able to get that kind of a level where you are actually making a proper income without having to actually work, then you need investment. And that's the reason why we said what you can do in Sortika is loans, savings, and investments, because we want to generate income from businesses, from rentals, from investments into financial products that are giving you returns that can actually be able to sustain you the way you'd like, to be sustained into the future. So that is our motivation, that we would want as many people in sub-Saharan Africa to be able to attain financial freedom as much as possible. So as many people that can do that, then we are achieving our mandate and our goal, which is to actually ensure that our people are financially free. And you see, when you help the person next to you, you are helping yourself, because when that person goes up, you go higher. That's why as agents, you have been given an opportunity to become an influence within your community, to become a reliable friend to a lot of people within your community, so that people can depend on you financially, so that people can know that they can rely on you. And as you uplift the lives of all those people in your community, you are also uplifting your own life. You are also growing, both in wealth, both in network, both in all these kind of things. So we actually say your network is your net worth. So we actually want to create sustainable financial connections with networks that are worth something, networks that you can be able to generate a sustainable income, passive income out of. So that's the reason why you being an agent becomes a very good opportunity for you to be able to generate what we call passive income. Passive income is income that you don't have to actively work on, so that you can actually be able to make it, right? So what are the responsibilities of being a Sortika agent? So number one, definitely, is to be able to create product awareness. So it's very important that you are able to let people know what it is that you're offering. So being a Sortika agent is actually an opportunity for you. It's a business opportunity for you to be able to make a passive income. It is your job. Sortika is just offering you a platform that you can actually be able to use to do your own job. It's a platform that you can use to actually make your own money. It's a side hustle. We always thought that for us to be sustainable and for us to even achieve financial freedom, we need to have at least 7 revenue streams. So you being a Sortika agent is a revenue stream. It's an additional revenue stream in your books that you're able to make passive income. So obviously you have to create a product awareness so that people can know what it is that you're actually offering by being a Sortika agent. Number 2 responsibility is to acquire customers. So what do we mean by acquiring customers? Acquiring customers means that you have customers who are actually using your application. They are actually downloading it, and they're actually creating accounts, right? So that is what we call acquiring of a customer. So someone has downloaded the app. So number 1 is create product awareness. Let them know what they can get by using your application. So Sortika is your application now as an agent. It is your application. So what can they do when they have your application on their phone? So it's creating that awareness. I can offer you this. You can be able to achieve financial freedom. That's when I've taken a lot of time to be able to tell you the vision and the mission of Sortika, so that you can speak like Sortika, so that you can marry that vision and you can sell it to a lot of people within your community. You're telling them, I am here to help you retire. I am here to help you live a dignified life. I am here to support you so that you can afford school fees. I'm here to support you so that you can afford a quality life, so that you can afford your next meal, so that you can afford good shelter, so that you can afford good clothing, so that you can afford a good car, so that you can afford everything that you dream of, so that you can live the life that you want for yourself and for your family. That's the reason why I am a Sortika agent, and that's the reason why I'm coming to you. And that's the reason why I want you to join my community within the Sortika platform. So that is what you're selling as an agent. You're selling a vision. You're selling a dream for a lot of people. A lot of people want to retire when they're in their 50s, when they're in 60s, but they have no plan of how they're going to retire. They don't know how they're going to be making the income they're currently making when they retire. You're telling them, I have a plan, and the plan is on the Sortika platform. And if you are able to join me in my community on Sortika, then I can show you your plan to retirement, to ensure that you live a dignified life even in retirement. So once you are able to preach that particular gospel and people are able to understand that you can be able to help them achieve that, then you acquire them. Acquiring them is you help them download the Sortika app. Let them download it. Let them download it and have it on their phone. That's what we call acquiring. Number 3 is you activate them. So activating them is to make sure that they actually perform a transaction. They actually perform a transaction on the app. So the transaction could be they actually save on the app, they actually invest on the app, or they actually borrow from the application, or they actually do their budgeting within that particular application. Yes, we do have a budgeting tool there. So the first thing that once you help a user download the app is to activate them, let them use the application. Then number 4 is to retain them. Retaining them is that they continue doing those transactions, right? And you continue upselling different products and services to them and different plans to them so that they can be able to grow. And obviously that comes with giving them support and ensuring that they are sustainably able to use the application. And when they have queries and issues, when they're using the application, you can resolve them and be able to support them. So how do you operate as an agent? So that's the next topic we're going to handle. So the first thing is that you need to have your code and referral link. I'll show you where that is on the application. And most of you have opened accounts and you received a message with your referral code and your referral link. So actually it's a link that you can actually be able to post on your social media pages, and people can click it and open accounts that fall under you. So you can actually advertise on your social media pages, on your WhatsApp status, you can advertise on your Facebook page, you can advertise on your Instagram, you can advertise everywhere with this particular referral link. So the first thing for you as an agent is to make sure that you have that code with you. So that is what is very, 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 very important. Have that code with you. So once you have that code with you, then it's very, very easy for you to start onboarding people. So number 2 is to identify your potential clients. So who do you want to serve? So that is what is very important. So who do you want to serve? It's called client profiling. So I want to serve people who are probably in some sort of industry. I want to serve probably people who are in the hardware industry. So you need to be able to identify those hardware people. I want to serve salonists. I want to be able to serve people in the business space. I want to serve home care people who are taking care of people at home. You can call them house girls, maids, whoever. I want to serve employed people. So it's very good for you as an agent to be able to identify your potential clients so that you are able to structure your value proposition to them so that you can always understand what their needs are and always be able to speak to their specific needs. So for example, if you go to border sector, you say, I want to serve the border sector. So it's for you to be able to understand what their needs are, what their problems are when it comes to money and finances, what their retirement plans are. For example, many of them may want to be able to own a bike that is theirs, or many of them are grappling with fuel cost, or many of them are grappling with the repair cost for their borders. So it's up to you to be able to identify a market that you can be able to serve, a market that you can be able to provide a value proposition for, and be able to upsell the specific services that you want to offer them through Sortika to them. Then number 3 is you open a group on Sortika that brings together your ideal customers. So once you've been able to identify them, create a group. Every agent must have a group, and that's what I've been encouraging you. It's the easiest way for you to actually be able to sell all the services together to your community is through a group, and there are a lot of benefits that come with a group, and I'll be able to enumerate those particular benefits as we continue with this discussion. So open a group that target those specific customers. So we said a group of 15 people is good. So every time you get 15 people, you close the group and you open a new one, you close the group and open a new. So you can actually be managing 20 groups. You can be managing 1,000 people. You can be managing a huge portfolio, right? But you have to be able to identify what needs are you solving for your specific target customer. So once you're able to do that, then you open a group for them on Sortika. So every agent must have a group on Sortika. Then now you start onboarding customers. So you go to customers and start selling to them your value proposition. So you're telling them, this is what you can get in my group. This is what I'm able to offer you. You can get loans on my group. You can save. There is interest that is being earned on that. This group is also going to be investing. And Sortika is there to provide you the support. We have a constitution for groups. So if you want to be able to create a constitution for your group, we are going to help you. Our customer care is there. We are going to be members of those groups that you create. We will be there to be able to support you with constitutions that can be able to structure your value proposition the way you would want to those specific groups. So from there, it's easy to onboard one customer after another customer after another, and all that kind of a thing. So what are you selling? So essentially what we've sold is what we've said there. You're selling personal loans, you're selling group loans, you're selling savings, and you're selling investments. So those are the 4 things that you are likely to be selling. But there are other things. For example, on Sortika, you can still be able to do budgeting. You're going to learn about these things as we proceed. you're gonna do budgeting. There are a lot of things that you can do there. You can do planning. There are a lot of things that you can be able to do, but you're going to get to know more about what Sortika offers you when you actually start using Sortika. So we're just going to speak about the basics, which is personal loans, group loans, savings and investment. So those are some of the things that you're actually selling. So very quickly we get into loans. So we are providing two types of loans. So we have personal loans, which are individual loans that everybody can access, and we also have group loans, right? So for personal loans, is really saying that individuals can get personal loans on Sortika, right? So they can get personal loans from as low as 500 shillings. So how does a customer get a personal loan? So all a customer needs to do is to download the Sortika application, go and fill their KYC on the app, and once they do that, then they get what we call a trust score. A trust score gives them around 500 shillings. But they can access this 500 shillings by being active. For you to be able to get a loan, you must be active on the app for 14 days. It's important because within those 14 days, the application is collecting data about you, and it's helping be able to come up with a credit score for you. So 14 days, then you are able to start getting loans. So you get from 500 shillings. So the more you save, the higher your limits are able to grow. So for example, let's say a user has saved 1,000 shillings. They are likely to have a limit of around 1,500, right? So if they borrow that money and repay, that could go up to around 1,800. They borrow and repay, that could go up to around, let's say, 2,600. So it really depends with how the customer is actually being able to transact on the Sortika platform. And that's how their personal loan limits grow. So your loan limits, personal loan limits, depend on two things. It's based on your transactions on the Sortika application, but also based on other transactions that happen on M-Pesa and the bank. So you are able to upload your bank statement and your M-Pesa statement for Sortika to be able to process it and be able to give you be able to give you a proper credit score that would give you a proper limit. So these are some of the. So this is how we are able to come up with the personal loan. So what are the benefits of that? So you get loans from 1,000 to 50,000 shillings as a personal borrower, with an initial loan amount first starting from 500 shillings to 5,000. So for the first time borrower, you're likely to get between 500 to 5,000 shillings. So that's what you're likely to get as a first loan. But you can get loans up to 50,000 shillings. Those limits are likely to go up into the future to whatever rate. So you get competitive interest rates. So obviously, ensure that you get the most favorable rates tailored to your financial situation. So the more you continue using the Sortika app as an individual, then you're able to get loans that are tailored to interest rates are tailored to your specific needs. So you get between 10 to 20%. It could come lower. It could come actually below 10%. It all depends with the securities you are offering within the application in terms of your savings, right? So how your savings are on the platform. So your loan limits are determined based on your transactions and activities on the Sortika app. So that is what constitutes, that is what determines what your loan limits are. So become active. So 14 days of being active, you get your first loan, and then you can be able to continue to get more loans on the application. So we are looking for customers who are going to see Sortika as a long-term plan for them. We don't want customers who are coming to Sortika just to get a loan and then they go away. No, we want customers who are going to stick with us. As an agent, you don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose money with customers who are just looking for a loan and then that they will never repay. We need to establish the ability to pay of these people. And that's the reason why we are saying these customers must be active on the application for at least 14 days before you can give them a loan. Let them show us commitment to save, even at least for a new user. When you come on the app, you have a daily target of 39 shillings. Just 39 shillings every day. 39 shillings every day. Right? So if you cannot save the 39 shillings, if you cannot enable those passive saving transactions, and we will be able to teach you, for those that are interested as agents, we'll be able to teach you the metrics that are used to actually come up with a credit score. There are 12 metrics. 8 of them are actually on the Sortika application. 4 of them come from the M-Pesa statements and the bank statements. So actually we are going to train you on those so that you can be able to guide your customers accordingly. How can your customers behave on the app to actually be able to increase their loan limits quite quickly? So that is very, 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 very important and something that we're going to train you on. So the processing fee is 2% of the value of the loan and a withdrawal fee of 40 shillings. So whether you're withdrawing 100,000, 50,000, 1,000, 200,000, the withdrawal fee is 40 shillings, right? It does not change, right? But the processing fee is 2% for you to process a loan on the Sortika application, right? So you get that for personal loans. So we go to group loans. So most of the groups that you're going to be opening, right? So the groups that you have as an agent, so that group you can actually provide loans with it. So you're actually going to be giving people loans. Loans on that. So the loans on the group are determined by two things. Number one is the assets. What are the assets of that target customer that you have? So if you have a saloonist, what are their assets? If you have a border rider, what are their assets? If you have a hardware person, what are their assets? So one, we do what you call asset appraisal. So you as an agent, there's a form that is filled that you have to go and actually be able to go and look at the assets that this member of you has actually asked within the group, right? So you look at the assets for each and every member of the group, you record them, you put them on our system. That will determine the limits that these members can borrow within your own group. Then number two, it is their savings in the group. So those are the two things that determine the limits of the individuals within groups. And the beauty of groups is that you can borrow from 2,500 shillings to 2.5 million shillings. So you have higher limits within groups, and there are so many benefits that come with it. So borrowing limits. So borrowing limits are based on your savings within the group. The more you save, the higher your borrowing capacity, obviously. And if you have good assets, also you're able to borrow more. So because within the group, you may have people of different capacities, so they have different types of assets and other kind of things. So that helps us be able to categorize people and be able to know how they can be able to borrow. Loan amount, you can borrow up to 5 times your savings within the guarantor group, allowing you to access larger loan amounts when needed. So you can borrow up to 5 times. But the number of times you borrow is purely dependent on the activities of the individual within the group, their savings within the group, in relation to the other members within the group, right? So how you perform against your other members determines what multiple you can borrow of your savings within the group. So you can borrow 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, up to 5 times of what you have actually saved within the group, and you do not need any guarantor. So we only need to secure loans when you are actually within a group. So you enjoy low interest rates, of course, from 7 to 20%, depending on what your risk level is. You are flexible. You have flexible repayment terms. So your terms are very flexible because we assume that most of the members you're going to have within your group are business people. So they get to get flexible payment terms, obviously based on what their businesses are and how they are performing and all those kind of things, right? So, and they get interest on their savings. So obviously, once they save within a group, then they are able to get interest on their savings. So from day one, so interest is calculated daily and payable monthly. So the interest rates are between 9 to 12% annually, and that is what is payable to our customers, to the savings that customers make within the groups. So obviously, again, they have to be there for 14 days. They have to be there for 14 days within the group, right? So from there, we have savings. So savings, we have the fixed custom and whatever. I'll be able to show them as we do the product demo. So that's how the loans are. So when a member joins your group, you tell them, I'm going to give you loans, right? I'm going to give you loans, but I need you to be a member. So the minimum saving for any member in a group is 50 shillings. 50 shillings, right? So it's 50 shillings. So even if someone cannot save 50 shillings, surely, are they running any business, honestly, right? So you must be able to demonstrate that you have cash flow for you to actually be able to get money back. So as an agent, remember, as an agent, you're making money from the interest income of these members, right? So you want members who can actually be able to repay your loans. That's the reason why they have to show commitment of saving consistently in your group for 14 days, right? Before we can actually be able to give them a loan. So that is very, 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 very important. So we are given an offer. The minimum members in a group is 8. The maximum members is 15, right? So once you cross 15 members, then you are able to open a new group. So we've said minimum number of members is minimum members is 8, right? 8 and maximum is 15. So that's the number of members we're looking at. So the target for each group is 547,500. So each member target to be able to save in 1 year, at least each member should be able to save that 6,500 shillings. So that is what we are targeting for the members within the group. So and that's the group target. The group target is 547,000. group target. So the group target there is the group target there is 547,500. So that is what we are doing. So each member is at 6,500. So after this, I'm jumping into a product demo. So I'll stop this video because I would want to be able to share the product video separately, the product demo video separately. So I'm going to be posting this video, but you watch the next one, which is the product whatever. So remember, as an agent, how do you make your money? So this is what I'm gonna finish up. How agents make money. So number one, so agent, we pay you what we call a revenue share of up to 30%. So we share you a revenue share of up to 30%. So we'll be able to share the remuneration structure for our agents. We'll be able to see there are 7 levels. So you grow. As you grow savings within your groups, as you grow savings, 1 million, 5 million, 50 million, you continue to get higher and higher benefits, right? You get higher and higher benefits. We're going to share that with you. But you get a revenue share of up to 30% of the revenue that is made by the members within your network. Number 2, so that is the word of the network. Number 2, you're able to make a retainer, which is capped to a particular number of months. So once you get to 1 million shillings, you start earning a retainer, and the retainer can be up to 62,500 Kenya shillings per month, right? So that could actually be a retainer that you're actually able to get. That can actually be a retainer that you're actually likely to be able to get. Number 3, what you get is interest income share. So interest income share is 20%. So you get 20% of the interest income on every loan that your member takes. So if the member takes a personal loan, you get 20%. If they take a group loan, you get 20% of the interest income that they are actually able to get there. So we also give you what we call product commissions. So product commissions are based on the underlying product. For example, if you are selling SIB Mansa X, you could actually get 1% of every investment that someone makes that someone makes on that investment, right? So you get product commissions, right? So for example, if you're selling Sayona products on the fixed savings products, I'll be able to show those on the product demo, which is the next video I'll be sending to you. So also there, you're able to get probably, let's say, 1,000 shillings for every product your customer buys, right? So you get those product commissions. So you get a revenue share, you get a retainer. You get a retainer when your savings is above 1 million, right? You get interest income share, and you get product commission. So these are some of the benefits that you are able to get as an agent. So that's why we say this is passive income. This is your business. And of course, number 5 is a group sign-up fee. So group sign-up fee is between 100 to 500 shillings per member. So once you create the group, we allow you to collect a fee. Most of the agents you've seen, they're collecting 300 shillings. Right? For every member who signs up to the group, you charge them at 300 shillings. That is supposed to help you in your logistics, moving around, going to their place to do what we call assessment, na mambo kama hiyo. So you are able to charge that group sign-up fee, and we allow you to collect up to 500 shillings per member. But you have to communicate to your members. They pay it on the Sortika platform, and Sortika pays you that money to be able to facilitate you to be able to run your activities on the ground and to be able to support the members of your group. So you can be able to charge that. So I will be editing this video, but the next video I'm sending to you, it is the product demonstration, so that you can see how the Sortika app works and all that. So I wanted that to be a separate video from this particular video. So I'm going to be sharing this with you. Thank you very much. Asante.
I borrowed 800,000 and I only have to pay 450 per day.